Fucking lore, bro.
Fucking lore.
Yeah. The fucking lore, bro.
The lore.
So, welcome everyone. We're here. First time. It's good to be here. I'm Sebastian.
I'm Zach, and we're here to tell you our lore and the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah, so let's start with, I guess, just our personal history. Why don't you kick us off?
All right, yeah, German mother, so right off the bat, I've got an affinity to the German national team. That's kind of the start of how I started watching soccer. The first vivid competition I remember was the 2006 World Cup in Germany.
Hell yeah.
Team Geist,
Team Geist,
shout out.
yeah.
But yeah, that was the first time I really got into watching soccer, and I still remember bawling my eyes out as a 9-year-old when
Loss.
Germany got knocked out by Italy in the semifinal.
Yeah, but I mean, at least you, lost to, a Titan.
I know, but, it was a great first year to watch, and I was so attached to it, and then that's kind of when I knew I was like, this is going to be my sport. I also played it growing up. That was the first sport I played. Started when I was about 4.
So did you play in Germany, for those few years that you guys were there?
No, I don't even remember living there.
Oh,
we moved when I was 2.
So, damn, yeah.
I started playing when I lived in Pennsylvania. Came here, started playing. Played a few years of travel.
Oh yeah.
Stopped playing and then just continued watching. Then my club, Arsenal, obviously. But I started when I played a Game Boy game. It was 04, 05, and I just fell in love with the crest. I loved the cannon. I started playing it. Fell in love with Thierry Henry, of course. So Thierry Henry, and then the likes of Michael Ballack, Lucas Podolski, Klose. Those are the
German
stars
boys
for me growing up. And then those are my 2 main clubs, and then I also support Bayern Munich. So growing up, I wasn't born in Munich. I was born in Stuttgart, but my grandparents always bought me Bayern Munich gear, shirts.
The iconic telecom, bro.
Yeah, jerseys, backpacks, hats. So I always had Bayern stuff. So just by having all that stuff, I fell in love with them too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even know where to start diving into mine. South American parents, Peru, Argentina. Peru's not necessarily a powerhouse, but I always knew that I had that love for Argentina. I, am of Latin descent, so soccer in itself is its own religion in the region. But I feel like I don't remember a time where I was not soccer obsessed in my life. That began ball and foot as a toddler and has never left me. Obviously, I have love for the Argentinian national team. I mean, World Cup champs right now.
2014, great final.
Yeah, great. I mean, favorite player of all time still is Gabriel Batistuta, most underrated Argentine player, in my opinion. And let's see, as a player, I mean, I grew up playing pretty much every season I possibly could. My late childhood, early teenhood, I kind of grew up a little bit as a player and realized a good manager is really interesting. And it was right around the time of course, Pep coming into Barca and creating the absolute dynasty that is now modern Barca. And I think after all of that and viewing that, I evolved as a fan and as a player, as a spectator, and I began to focus on managers, right? A little bit more. It was a dimension of soccer I had never really thought about.
You're interested in the tactical side of it.
Yeah. So my grandpa is actually probably the one who got me into soccer the most. He was the one who coached me the most throughout my life, even though he coached age groups that were older than mine. But he was a tactician. I mean, the guy was the Rain Man of soccer in a way. And so I learned to appreciate some of those tactical things that are not obvious, and there was no one better to watch, in my opinion, than Pep. So of course, Pep moves over to Bayern right around the time that I, make friends with a German exchange student who, again, not from Munich, but that was their team. That was their family team. So I got into the Bundesliga and I got into Bayern because Pep was there. You got incredible players and talent, and the Bundesliga was just fun. Obviously, I still knew about Barclays back then, right? And then my boy Pep decides to move to the EPL. And who does he go for but City? And so at that point, honestly, like my favorite team in the Prem was probably Arsenal. Like, huge Mesut Ozil fan, love TT. Like, how could you ignore that? But once he went to City, it was game over. I had to, man. I had to at least give him love. Like, he deserves it. He is the maestro of
Well,
being
your
a
brand of
manager.
football is going to Manchester, so.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's my personal story, and I guess really like it's kind of been something that sat dormant with us for a decent bit, right? I mean, it wasn't until that faithful year that we were kind of running into each other watching some games in the basement of the resting place, and we were like, oh shit, like the Spider-Man moment. Yeah. And I mean, that's when the lore really began.
Yeah,
in my
because we
opinion.
immediately bonded over, obviously, the love for Bayern Munich.
Bayern, bro,
And
yeah.
obviously, with Pep stopping through Bayern Munich, I had, created an attachment to him as well. So yeah, it kind of just really clicked.
Yeah, I think what really, really did it and where our real lore begins is something that we call from Manchester to Madrid, and it was a very, very specific trip that we took together. So, I mean, you want to kind of tell them about like what the actual like word or theme of lore kind of comes from?
Yeah, I mean, like he mentioned, kind of coming to this one event, and there's one summer my German uncle was getting married in Spain, and we have always traveled together, so I kind of looked around the calendar, see what was in that time frame, and I noticed that was slotted to be his Champions League semifinal.
Yeah.
So immediately I kind of threw it to you like, hey, I'm going to be in Europe this time. There's a game happening on this day at any of these 8 locations. And it was like Madrid.
We just started sitting there.
Madrid, Manchester, London, Porto.
I think like Napoli was one of them at that point or something, right? Like
Munich.
Yeah, we had
Paris,
we had a mosaic of different options.
Yeah, all great options too. And then eventually
started paring them down. Games started coming.
Came down to the final 4 teams, and that match day was Manchester City versus Real Madrid.
I want to say it was less than 4 weeks, like from us figuring out who we wanted to go see, who was making it through to that round, and the actual game itself. I mean, the turnaround was insane. Like we were kind of just sitting there, like ready to take off.
We knew we were going to the game.
We didn't know what city, what stadium. Yeah.
But it worked out perfectly because Manchester, I was in Germany at the time, so I was able to meet you in London, spend a night at the spiciest food of our lives.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And then took the train up north.
The Piccadilly.
Yeah.
The Piccadilly from London to Manchester.
And it was, a beautiful train ride, but...
Well, some parts.
Yeah. Farmlands. But, then we made it to Manchester, and it was a pretty quick dash to get to the game.
Manchester was a doozy, so we definitely were sleep deprived. We were obviously like exploring somewhere neither one of us had been. We had a traditional English breakfast like a couple blocks from the Piccadilly at a random pub that was playing soccer at 11 a.m. And regrouped, did our stuff, and started heading to the game. And what a game. So for reference, do you want to kind of tell them which game specifically it was?
Yeah, this was leg 2 of the semifinal 2023 Champions League, the year City won it. And I believe they came to that game, it was 1-1.
Yeah, it was like a 1-1 or 1-0.
It was very close. It could have gone
tight.
Either way. Coming into Manchester, and it was a 4-0 thrashing. And just seeing Pep and Ancelotti managing two clubs in front of our eyes was just
I mean, two of some of the biggest teams in all of Europe going head to head in what is probably one of the best tournaments in the world for the sport,
yeah.
right? The
And
UCL, like,
this is at least my first time seeing something of that high quality. I mean, you had world class players littered across that pitch.
yeah. I mean, there was more world class players like taking bathroom breaks at that stadium than there are on the pitch at most MLS games.
Any MLS games.
Well, not since
True.
Messi has come, honestly. Like that's been kind of a huge turning point. But yeah, I mean, from Manchester, I think you needed to go back to Spain for the
wedding.
actual wedding,
Yeah.
and so I decided, well,
I mean,
fuck it, I'm gonna try and do a little bit of Spain too. Might as well. And I hit up Valencia for a few days before we decided to meet in the Balearic Islands. Very specific, party-friendly Balearic Island. Had a very, very vast amount of experiences there, and then decided that we were gonna end our trip with a pit stop in Madrid.
took a flight from said island to Madrid without a place to stay.
With no place to stay. I mean, like, really, we were just kind of like firing from the hip about everything. We really didn't know our flight that much more before that. We didn't know where we were going to stay. We didn't necessarily know what our itinerary or plan in the city was going to be. So we kind of, we tried to check out the Bernabeu. It was kind of closed for renovations or something.
Well, they still did tours, but it was sold out.
Yeah.
But it was during the renovation, so you couldn't actually go on the pitch. You get a press box view, and we're like,
it's like a cheap, like,
and you
it's not
still
worth
pay
it.
full price. But we found another stadium,
The Metropolitano Atletis,
which had a full stadium tour for
cheaper,
the same cost, if not less, and we bought that up. And
that was an incredible experience.
No
dude.
game, unfortunately, but being able to walk through the locker room,
Dude, touch the pitch, walk around the crest, like, I mean, it was amazing.
Sit
like,
in the box on the benches.
You got a picture with Memphis.
Yeah,
I got a picture with Griezmann.
Memphis. But yeah, brought back this beautiful scarf, and that's part of the lore.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess like the real reason that we even call this the lore, because I'm sure some of you are wondering, is I think a few months back Zach had sent me like random Instagram or something, and it was like this like very like, you know, like, oh, years in the future type of post, and it was, you know, the idea that one of your kids like down the line would stop you like before bed and be like, hey dad, like, why is Uncle Zach called Uncle Zach if he's not related to you? And the dad would respond, because of the lower son. And it was just like a rolling like picture and stream of videos and pictures of just these memories that just like create this like existential bond, right? Like stuff that like reminds you that like community, like tribe, like, I don't know, like this very like primitive, like, and like that was the lore. That was the birthplace. Like we just kind of started joking about like, oh, well, this experience adds to the lore. Yeah. And it eventually turned into something that we started to relate to our experiences around the sport. I mean, we would start planning.
I mean, we'd get
trips
up early at 7:30 a.m. to watch a Premier League game.
Yeah, go to different bars,
get breakfasts or make breakfasts, go to games,
fan clubs, trips specifically for matches, international club, like planning tickets.
Dude, the Euros, just going wherever you can, whenever, just to watch a game.
Man, dude. And even just like the random like, oh, host country that I've always wanted to visit. Now I have an even bigger excuse to go. Like, it's all just kind of part of the lore, which really got us to thinking like, well, we love this sport. There's got to be people that love this sport.
We watch it all the time.
We watch it all the time.
We talk about it all the time.
Yeah. Let's just have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy the sport.
Talk about it, share our experience and love with other people.
Yeah. And that was the birth of this. And I couldn't be happier. This is a
Yeah.
great way
Here we
to,
are, episode 1.
yeah. Many more to come. Obviously, not all of them will be about us. In fact, this will probably be the only one that is about us. That's probably how I'd prefer to keep
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I mean, I guess just start staying tuned for, what is it, live match
Yeah, I mean, we're
commentary.
planning to watch the Champions League final together. Hopefully share that with you.
We've got different, specific themes and questions that we kind of want to get to the bottom of. We want feedback from you guys. We want to hear some of what is the important topics of discussion, transfers, clubs, loyalty across clubs, club versus country players, greatest position players of all time, etc. I'm excited to get into all of it. I want to nerd out about this, and I
that's
can't
what
wait.
we're here for. So we
Yeah.
got plenty planned for the future, and we're excited for it.
But yeah, as I said, I'm Sebastian,
I'm Zach.
and that's Leech,
Thank you for tuning into the lore.
the fucking lore.
Fucking